Talking Gruff with Dr. G. And here's our host, Dom Paris Gruff.
Las canola consolas, my dear friends. Welcome again to Talking Gruff with Dr. G. Now, I get excited all the time on this show, but tonight we have a very special guest who is very, very close to my heart. Actually, to be exact, is 5 feet away. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my humble pleasure to welcome to the studio tonight one of the Western world's scientific greats. Give him a very, very warm welcome, Professor Ubedal Schnuffelhausen.
Thank you. It is mine and pleasure to be here, Dr. G. And what a charming studio audience.
Well, it's great to have you, Ubedal.
Are you always this orange?
Orange? Professor Schnuffelhausen, aren't you glad to see me?
Of course I am. It is always nice to discuss important issues with a bright-minded and bright orange intellect such as yourself.
Thank you, Ubedor. Well, we haven't just got you in here for a warm orange colada, have we? Well, you've passed through many scientific loops in the past, including the molecular microscope, the dark matter projects, the depolymerization of fruit for the purposes of reversing the effects of AIDS, just to name a few. But you're here today to describe to us a new line of work.
Yes, well, I spent most of my life sifting the many sands of scientific time, raising the duck of good fortune, fine-tuning the giant heppel of human genome resurgence, overbearing the heads of lemony twigs, driving alfredos to the highest sea levels, and mixing obstacle solutions in flight of a better cause. But in my old age, I have turned to more nautical entities to stimulate my neurological treasure senses. I have recently joined the Bata Bata Pudding Brother Association.
What?
The Bata Bata Pudding Brother Association is a group dedicated to providing forms of wildlife with the pudding bata bata. I have come to realize that wildlife of 3 stages does not have access to the pudding bata bata. As strong advocate for equal rights, I felt the human had access to much more savory jelly goop than the wildlife of 3 stages. So I made it my lifelong quest to put a stop to this iniquity between wildlife and human.
Fascinating.
I joined the Bata Bata Pudding Butter Association because they are not only the same level of complex thinking as I am, but they are strongly opposed to the Cavade regime and the French coalition.
Tell me more about this, pudding butter group of yours.
The Bata Bata Pudding Brother Association is currently in first stages of movement. We have a systematic approach to solving the world's problems. Stage 1 was to make 6 billion pudding bata bata, and the following stages involve distribution and administering. We are now in stage 3, which means we have moved from providing pudding bata bata to plantation life, to also supplying the common gastropod with the pudding bata bata.
Can I please ask you how you administer the pudding butter to the plant or gastropod?
No, you cannot.
Well, okay. I have to ask you, Ubedor, what made you shift your studies to such a, unorthodox, thing?
Yes,
I mean, clearly this isn't anything like your development of subgravitational black matter juice, which I was kinda hoping we could discuss.
Yes, I believe it all happened during a yummy yum dinner. I think my wife, who I have now divorced, was...
Not with Colleen anymore?
No. She has just cooked up a stewy stew pot with some herbs, melon, lips, righty plods, and the strange mushrooms she found growing in the backyard. I was halfway through my meal when it began to speak to me. I remember it clear as anything. Whoopidor! Whoopidor! It says. I suddenly realized my purpose in life. I loved everyone and everything, and began to care for things I had never cared for before. I found realization that my mind was made up of soft bubble bit and marshmallow fluffy fluff. It made me discover the world, Don. It really did. And the universe was speaking to me through my stew. I remember I felt something snap inside my head, and suddenly I realized there was a dog inside a human body. But this body wasn't even real. It only felt real. I had to save the animals. I felt the hurt of the axe and the burn of the saw, and I felt it inside me that I had met the universe. It was telling me things, and I knew my life was real. I believed the universe wanted me to give better butter pudding to the plants and animals who were unfairly without. I found the true meaning of Christmas.
See you next time on the show.